And we do have a large number of delusion or confusion, or sometimes even they refer as dualistic and all that. But the true reality will be going beyond all of those, and beyond all of this, and revealing what really truth naturally is. Truth here, really, the wisdom really is going beyond confusion, going beyond misunderstanding, going beyond miscommunication. And that is really rebelling the genuine, rebelling the true, rebelling the reality. That is really wisdom is all about it. You can think about it from a mystical point of view and make it mystical. But you can also think, is this as a reality? Is this true? It is genuine? And you can do that too. So both are reality. This true wisdom and the genuine compassion also, so it becomes compatible with our basis. The basis the other Sunday I talked to you is this true truth. Truth of relative and the truth of absolute. Truth of relative is our reality, what we live on, our life. Things are happening and things are functioning, karmic functioning, like good and causes. Good efforts brings good result, and the negative deeds bring negative result, etc. are true. Absolute is a relative truth. Absolute truth is absolute reality. The genuine dependent origination itself is the absolute truth. And these are within us, whether we see it or not see it, whether we recognize or not recognize. But everything that the life happening with us is the relative truth, and relative truth is based on our absolute. So when you're revealing that, making it more clear, clearing more misunderstanding and more confusions, more ignorance, and more blocks and more obstacles clearing, then what is truly revealing you will be as I told you, the result of the Dharmakaya, or the mental aspects, or which is wisdom ultimate, and absolute compassion and love, love's ultimate achievement will be the physical aspects. So, in our ordinary today's level, with our physical and mental condition, whatever we are and whatever we have, and that itself can become compassion, can become wisdom, and can not only can become, but it has become a very truth of compassion and the truth of wisdom itself. It becomes more, it prevails more and more by clearing the obstacles, which is the delusions. Delusion is our negative actions and negative actions consequences, and also the causal to all of them. Because what's happening is this negative emotions and functions and effects confuses and create more misunderstanding within our mind. So we are pulling far away and farther away from the truth. So the efforts of bringing love, compassion and wisdom bringing closer to the basic basis of ourselves, that my own true truth, is brought up closer and closer to the my true result by these two, compassion and wisdom, bringing them together. So brought them a little closer. And closer to bringing them is then clearing our obstacles. Obstacles are the consequences of our negative deeds. We talked a lot about the negative emotions. And the negative emotions create negativities. And these negativities brings us the negative consequences. These negative consequences pull us away from the truth, separate us from the truth, put farther away and farther away. And when we're looking at the truth, it will block seeing the truth, and it becomes obstructions. And that's why we call it obstacles. That's why we call it blocks. So our target, our purpose, our challenge is not a target, sorry. It's our challenge. The real challenge becoming clearing that obstacles, purifying the obstacles, and sort of pinpointing beyond obstacles. And all of those are different ways of getting it. Simple purification, etc., will be making it lighter and lighter, and becoming thinner or lighter, and become lesser and lesser effective. And then there are ways of doing it. I'm not saying you don't need to purify. I'm saying it, but a sort of a cutting cross. Cutting cross. Cutting cross is not necessarily layer by layer cutting, not necessarily skin by skin removing, but cutting from the root, and sort of a very big way. When you cut the tree from the root, the tree will go. Also, if you keep on cutting the leaves and flowers and branches and skin and so finally make an attempt to the stamp and all that, that will also let the tree go. But to different way. So on the spiritual path also to different way. Layer by layer, removing one by one, purifying this, purifying that, this and that way of doing it. And I'll look at them in total picture and looking at it. And looking at them in total picture and looking at them totally challenge them together will be working smart. Layer by layer, one by one, try to purify, doing this will be working hard. In our cases, unfortunately, we have to engage both. We try to engage both. Because in case if we don't be able to make it as smart working, at least we have something layer by layer done. It's almost like a rabbit and tortoise. Hares and tortoise story, as you know, as the kids tell you. But hare does hare way, tortoise does tortoise way. Tortoise way more normally win because it's working hard. Hares will say, it's for me to matter of jumping. So you just relax and do nothing. So then do something else rather than what you're supposed to do. So then hares always lose, right? But in our case, we can't afford to do both. We can't afford to lose. So therefore, we need hare style of hare or the rabbit style of quick jumping, as well as tortoise style of constant effort of moving. So we need both, unfortunately. So because the result what we hope to gain is hard to gain, a difficult one, great one, but a difficult one. So every effort we can put, we have to put. So each and every effort of those, we have to be focused on both compassion as well as wisdom. So all our endeavor, whatever we do, we must put gear towards that achievement. So the motivation, first set, to obtain that very total enlightenment. And not only you set up your motivation, but all your efforts also put towards that. Motivation and efforts must go together. Otherwise, you motivate something, you're putting your energy to something else, which probably achieve nothing. Both motivation as well as efforts must be directed towards one purposes. The one purposes, that is achieving our result. Practice is nothing valuable, important if you cannot get any result. Purpose of the practice is not for discipline or anything. Everything is to achieve our result. Purpose of morality is just to be moral, not just to be moral. Purpose of moral is to achieve some goodness for ourselves as well as for the others. Purpose of generosity is not just simply to become rich. It becomes benefit, not only yourself, for the others. Purpose of patience is not just simply not to get irritated or frustrated, but to achieve our purposes. Purpose of enthusiasm is not just to overcome laziness, but to achieve our goal. So does the concentration. So does the wisdom. And that is why more motivation and the effort must put together for a purpose, and the one purpose only. And every single thing that we engage, whether you sit down and meditate, or whether you say mantras, or whether you do circumambulation, or prostration, or you be kind to somebody, be kindness, or improving your own quality, everything must be done for the purpose of achieving enlightenment. When you do that, your efforts becomes, your forces become together. When the forces put together, it can help to give you the result. So that's what it is, and what I want you to take home out of today's talk is this. Our result, our hope, our goal is to become fully enlightened. Enlightened here means I talk about two, the physical aspects and the mental aspects, both together. Because if you are physically fully enlightened and mentally not fully enlightened, then it's not right. But vice versa, the other way. But mentally enlightened, physically not right, that also not right. So you do need both the physical aspects and the mental aspects together. To achieve these two together, you have to have compassion and wisdom combined together. To achieve that, you have to work on what you are, relative truth as well as absolute truth. This is based on which we are functioning. Part of what we are taking is compassion and wisdom. Result, what we hope to get is the physical aspects of enlightenment and the mental aspects of enlightenment together, simultaneously. So that's what it is. And also the difference between the Theravada and the Mahayana, the result-wise. The path-wise, also big difference. The compassion as a path is the only the Mahayana path will take. And then also remember, the Vajrayana is a part of Mahayana. When you talk about the three yanas, Parchikayana, Shavakayana, and the Mahayana, all I talk about Hinayana and the Mahayana. Hinayana has two, Parchikayana and Sharvakayana. Mahayana is the Bodhisattva's way or the Buddha's way. So that is called Mahayana. That also has two, pure Sutra aspects and the Vajrayana. So the Vajrayana is nothing separate than that of Mahayana, which also known as a result yana too.